What is going on, guys? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Today we are playing Islands of the World, but from satellite mode. So we're going to be looking down onto the rounds rather than seeing them from street view imagery. And yeah, it should be a really fun one. Hopefully, because it's Islands of the World, it's going to be a little bit easier than other maps, and I'll be able to work out based on the coastlines where we are. But let's get straight into things here. 2 minutes per round. I think that should be well achievable to get some 5,000 points. And let's see what the first one is here. Okay, so we have some coast to our north here, and this is what we're looking at. We do have what appears to be an airport here, I'd say. No, it's just an avenue. Just an avenue. Fairly big amphitheater here of some kind. Big buildings. Okay, interesting. So it's pretty green as well. So let's see. We are on an island of some kind. Wonder what this is, actually. So I have no idea what this kind of man-made looking structure is, but we also have some shipping containers. So a fairly major shipping port as well, I would think. So then, this probably is a capital city somewhere, and I just have to get to thinking about where it is. So when it's right to the north, I was thinking possibly somewhere in Brazil. Is São Luís on an island? It appears to be. Unfortunately, these little juts don't appear to be there, so I kind of liked that off the bat. Then, like, yeah, I don't really think anywhere else in Brazil quite fits. Yeah, maybe I should get in closer. Might feel a bit Asian here, because there's quite a few blue roofs that I've seen. So then in Asia, where could we possibly be? I don't think Singapore. I don't think we'd have like kind of that like vast ocean to our north here. Because yeah, if we zoom all the way out, we can see quite a lot of ocean. So then Sarawak could be it. I don't like Sarawak too much, but maybe somewhere even further north. So Sabah doesn't really fit, unfortunately. I was really feeling one of those ones more than anything here. So kind of left with not much time here in which to get the right country. Perhaps Jakarta is possible. I think I'll just go Jakarta here. In fact, it kind of looks right. Wow, I think I've actually just found it, because look at this. It looks the same as this. So where are we actually? Okay, we're just like here, just next to that thing. And yeah, we're right. Oof. Wow, we actually get full 5,000 points. That's fantastic. I was about to click on the exact right location, but wow, talk about in the nick of time for the first round there. So very happy with that. Okay, Islands of the World. Next one. So we're on Java last time. Which island will be on this time? This one, this is the maximum zoom we get. So some kind of a white beach here. Fairly sizable town. Looks almost European based on these kind of like apartment block shapes. But could be anywhere, to be fair. Okay, so it's fairly well organized. Actually could be North American, but it's a lot of red roofs for North America, you'd have to say. I mean, people tease me for not being able to tell very quickly. They have in previous episodes. So let me see what color the road lines are, at least here. If it will load. It might not actually load. Okay, so it's fairly low quality. Interesting. But I think it looks more like white road lines. It's really hard to tell at this altitude. So then, sports stadiums. We've got like a soccer football pitch here. Other things are not so obvious. Okay, so it's time to start thinking of a guess here. Could even be Australia. No, I don't think so. But somewhere in America, presumably, I think. Look at all these condos. Very interesting. They're kind of tiny. So southern US, maybe? The red roofs are confusing. So, okay, let's just get into guessing here. North Coast. So my first thought was maybe somewhere out here. Not really sure what kind of islands we got. Long Island is possible, I suppose, something like that. Kind of don't even mind that, to be honest. Something like Wadding River there, or you know, the coast kind of goes a bit more up like that over there. So maybe somewhere over there is possible. These towns are kind of not quite big enough, I think, unfortunately. Otherwise, I kind of liked there. Okay, if that's not the case, then, oh, what about over here? Is this an island? It is technically an island, so maybe Brewster? It's possible. Really not confident with this one, though. I think we wouldn't have that much farmland, to be quite honest. So, as for Europe, could be like Italy or something. With the north-facing coast, it's kind of unclear. I don't know, what's this? This is athletics, I think, so it doesn't really help us either. Okay, it was actually UK, near Liverpool. This was in Rhyl, or Ryle. Not really sure how to pronounce that, but definitely not a very good effort there. I should have really gotten it, but it was actually surprisingly low quality, and I guess I forgot that sometimes, well, in this map, whatever's smaller than Greenland counts as an island. Obviously, Greenland's not actually quite this big. It's more the size of, I don't know, it's probably more the size of South Africa or something like that. Maybe even a bit smaller, but regardless, we miss out on that one, so let's see what we got next going on. Okay, so next one. Okay, this is quite distinctive coastline. I think I should be able to get this. So we can see the whole island here. Okay, so let's get in a little closer then. Okay, so a really nice kind of European-looking bay here. So we should be somewhere in Europe, presumably, and this should be very distinctive as well. So yeah, I mean, then look, it's quite sparse and quite flat. So that is interesting. Could we actually be in South America here? I think it is possible as well. So I don't think Curacao looks like this, but what? It definitely feels European based on like, it definitely feels wealthy. So yeah, I kind of prefer Europe for that reason. Whoops. Okay, map is gone. Wow. Somehow managed to get far away there. Okay, so let's start to take into account all of our options here. So Malta is not quite the right shape. Also, Malta would be drier and hillier. Okay, so then any parts of Corsica or Sardinia definitely sprung to mind as possible. Unfortunately, I don't really see anything that quite fits the way that this one would, and it's a bit too flat as well. So what about this island here? Also not quite fitting, but I am thinking of one of these Italian islands as quite possible here. This one, not quite. So where exactly? We're right inside that town thing there. So, very interesting indeed. Okay, what's this other one we had over here recently? It's not that one, good to know. Pantelleria. So maybe it is Greek. I think Greek has to be the most likely now. Just because I haven't found anything that fits yet. So let's get our marker down in a Greek island and search here. Just 15 seconds to go, but I still think it's findable for sure. Okay, so not coming to me at this stage, unfortunately. So looks like we will miss out here. Let's see where it is. And ends up being, oh wow, okay, that makes a lot more sense. So this one's the one. What is this island actually called? Maybe Corchula, maybe. Yeah, that is the actual town there, Vela Luca, very beautiful place. So we're not too far away. But yeah, definitely Italian vibe off the bat, kind of makes sense being so close there in Croatia. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Next one here, hopefully we can 5k this one again. Okay, we get a bit more view on this one. We can go a bit more north to south. Big coast, lots of farmland, kind of a similar feeling round to the last one. So let's get in here and take a look. Quite low quality as far as I can tell. But, okay, so as for the houses, kind of a mismatch. A lot of like white roofs, maybe flatter roofs, so maybe it's Latin America this time. As for the shape of the island, it is certainly interesting. What's this island out here as well? Very interesting indeed. It is quite built up. A lot of people in this town over here. It's quite dense as well. So, could it be Philippines? I feel like Philippines is certainly possible here. It is a lot of farmland. But we do have the kind of mountains that you would see on Filipino islands. So, I think that's what I want to look at first here. So, I do think it's quite possible to get this, especially with this kind of distinctive-looking island off to the southwest of the main island here. So, what's the exact shape again? Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like outcropping like that. Certainly findable here. I really do believe. Okay, so probably further down this direction then. This almost feels promising. Not quite, of course, but I'm gonna put the marker there just because it looks similar. Okay. Ooh, what's this one feeling like? It's probably not built up enough, unfortunately. But I was kind of enjoying the look of this one as well. Okay, what about over here? Yeah, again, not. So maybe it's not Philippines. Maybe I've used my time unwisely here. It's hard to know, though. I still think Philippines is a decent shout, but could be Europe at the end of the day, or Latin America. And okay, this one was on a Japanese island. I must say, that didn't really remind me of Japan, so, I mean, maybe if it was higher quality, I could have gotten it, but, yeah, I guess without low cam, Japan can be difficult now. But yeah, so Ishigaki there is the name of the island, and that's the smaller island we're also looking at. So, Taketomi. Okay, so can we get 15,000? That would be the ideal, and we can. This is the man-made islands in the UAE. This is near Dubai, I believe. So these ones are, is it the Palm or the Big Palm? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one looks better, but are they separated? Okay, so maybe it's not. Should be this one then. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is like a very expensive place to live. Lots of just like streets running through. What an amazing place. I mean, this is going to be the thumbnail for sure. So cool that we're actually able to find this round. So there you go. But yeah, so we are meant to be right here apparently. And so on that road, that's pretty easy 5k. I just want to observe it for a little longer though, you know, it's so interesting. So what have they got over here going on? Some parks. Wow, so I wonder if this is a shopping complex? Kind of dystopian, to be honest, but I mean, I'm sure it looks cool in real life. Yeah, what all this, like, kind of reminds me of the Australian Parliament grounds, the Australian Parliament in Canberra. But yeah, wow, look at this resort as well. That actually looks quite cool. I want to go there. But anyway, I think this is going to be a perfect score. We only have to go right here and get the perfect score right there, I reckon. 15 meters away, very good result. Okay, so we get 15,300. Pretty good first effort. Let's head in for another one here and hope for an improvement even on that. So then, first one. Okay, so a smallish island now. This one's got quite a distinct shape as well, I would say. Okay, so this one might feel more North American. This is like a golf course over here. Okay, we got high quality imagery as we zoom in. Well, not necessarily super high quality, but decent at least. Okay, so a lot of bigger houses, definitely reminding me of North America here. Single yellow line though, perhaps. So I guess we're gonna check Cancun with a single yellow line. That would probably make sense to some extent here. Or maybe just one of those Mexican peninsulas if one exists like this. Otherwise, just USA. Okay, here's some more road markings. Does it go to double yellows? Or does it end in a single yellow? Kind of hard to tell. No, it is double yellows. Okay, so probably North America somewhere. So let's get into the map here and try and figure it out. So my first thought was like maybe near New Orleans or near Key West. How does Key West end? In a similar way, but not quite the same. Okay, so pretty sure it's not Key West. That's good to know. I can't remember. I think this map actually does have unofficial coverage, so maybe it could even be Bahamas or something. Anyway, I also want to check. What else do I want to check? Yeah, so Cancun I don't actually think has a peninsula quite like this. Similar, but not quite. Okay, so then we have to head up north of the coast here, because I think it does ring a bell, this little kind of ending bit. So we have to be on an island here. It kind of looks similar to the one in Massachusetts, but no, I don't think so. And it feels warmer, to be honest. So, there's that. I guess I will put my marker here, even though I know it's not correct. It could be near there. Otherwise, 3 seconds to go. A little bit of not enough time here. Wow. Okay, it was Long Island. After all, man, I really should check Long Island. Did I say it this round? Because I guess I thought because I'd already looked there today, I'd remembered it, but no, not at all. Okay, there we go. So that's what it looked like. Unfortunate, or rather unfortunate there. You know what? Let's restart because I want a score above 15,000, and that wasn't a good start. Okay, so we got a little flash of the round there, but regardless, I can't really remember what was going on. I think we can toggle the rain. Let me see here. Can't remember where the rain toggle is. Anyway, it won't be too distracting. This one is interesting. We've got a bridge across a river here of some kind, maybe across the ocean. Probably across the ocean if we're on an island, to be fair. And we have tons of red roofs here. So probably Latin America, I would assume. Otherwise, somewhere in Europe with this amount of red roofs, surely. So on an island, that is curious. Let's take a look in closer here. These are all shipping containers, so actually probably not a good idea. But where could this be, really? So I think we should scan up and down the coast here for islands. Just trying to think of famous. So what's we checked San Luis before. I'm actually not too sure where this one's gonna be. It's a very big population center here, so I think I really should get it, but it's just not popping to mind where this is. Big population over there, massive population over here, huge city. Has to be a huge city here, so Rio de Janeiro doesn't make sense. It's too flat to be any of those. Buenos Aires does not have a bridge across to Uruguay, which kind of makes sense. So then, maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot, but I have no idea where to check. I just don't know where this is going to be. It's such a huge city. I'm going to be kicking myself when I don't know, when I didn't get this, you know? Manila? No, Manila's not the right shape. Where is this? This is such a frustrating round. I feel like I should easily know. I just have nothing. I don't know where it's going to be. Ends up being, Surabaya is the one, and I am not too familiar with that city, so I don't think I've, like, really ever paid attention to how it looks like on the map. So that is rather unfortunate, but let's go in for another round one here. This one feels more gettable. Very, like, kind of, like, hilly mountain roads here. Okay, so the coast has, like, a bunch of little, like, jetties on it or something like that, or at least little inlets, or, I don't know what you call these little peninsula things. And lots of red and white roofs here, so that's interesting. As for the highway, this feels like South African road markings, to be honest. But I can't think of an island in South Africa. So then, Puerto Rico feels possible. I know that, well, I don't think it's actually Puerto Rico, but like just south of San Juan, you do get these massive mountains. So maybe we're in a town further over. It's possible. If we were like over here, I feel like that is possible, you know? I'm not sure if we have all these little like jetty things that we're observing just here. It doesn't quite feel right, but where's the airport though? Yeah, I'm not sure where the airport is. I don't think it quite fits. Surely, okay, shows up here. Yeah, so unfortunately, Puerto Rico's not going to be good, I'm pretty sure. So then, where is this? So now I'm thinking like Canaries or something like that. I think the kind of climate plus... Yeah, I do think the climate plus the touristy nature of this location would make sense for Canaries. So maybe over here doesn't really make sense. This one also doesn't really make sense. So starting to feel kind of bad about that as well. Over here. Okay, this one's at least possible, I feel like. Still not confident, but somewhere on the Azores is feasible. That's not quite right, unfortunately. So let's see where this was, actually. Okay, it was on Crete. That was definitely gettable. Again, a place I'm not too familiar with, I guess. So we'll retry one more time here. This is going to be the seed that takes us to the end of the video. So let's see what we start off with here. Wow, this one is another interesting one. Kind of feels similar to the American ones we had, like the Long Island round and whatnot. This is very interesting indeed, though. This almost feels more Key West-like. In fact, is this not the shape we observed before? It's very similar. It's very similar, but I don't think it's quite right. I mean, this bridge surely looks very similar. Like, yeah, I think this is too much of a coincidence, no? Oh, man. I think it's actually wrong, but it just looks so similar that it's just a bit of a shame, isn't it? Pretty sure that's wrong. Wow. Unless it's this part here. No. Wow, okay, so just unfortunately super similar there. Okay, so that's not a problem, not a problem. We can move past that. Okay, so where's this one gonna be? Okay, now we gotta check, I guess we gotta check back over this direction again as well. So let's check Long Island, because last time I was wrong. It's not Long Island, but it looks similar. Certainly looks similar. Oh, and this place, it's not there either. Ay. So these American islands, they're very tricky. I do feel relatively confident that this one is in America, but I'm just not sure where to go if not Key West. So we even have an airport there. There's no airport here though, is there? I mean, the airport's up here, but there's no land bridge over here, so... Yeah, it's wrong. Oh, gosh, where is this? Miami Beach doesn't really make sense. There's nothing that's quite the right angle out here. Okay, so if we move further up the coast, then this is not quite right. This is not right. Neither is any of this, really. We need a last-ditch effort. We got to click somewhere up here. I'm just going to click in this region here. Hope for the best. It was in Houston. Wow. I knew that this was familiar. Just outside of Houston, Galveston. So, yeah. Not the best effort. We got the right country, but can't say I'm pleased about that one. forgot to check more inland. Okay, this one, another tough one. You guys can tell the satellite stuff is not really my strong suit, although I do enjoy it, of course. It's not really what I'm too good at. I was lucky to start off the video with a 5k, to be honest. This one is interesting, though. European feeling. I was going to say, like, Ireland, but... yeah, I think Ireland does fit with all these kind of blackish roofs. Otherwise, somewhere in America, again, is possible. Check if, like, Southern Ireland does have any, like, similar shapes in the coastline, like this. Does that fit? Not quite, but it is similar. Okay, what about over here? Again, similar, but not quite. Okay, what about this? Not quite again. Okay, so maybe not Ireland, but the UK could certainly make sense here. I mean, I think the UK still counts as the correct size of Ireland, so we could still be good for that. Plymouth is too small. This would be too big for Plymouth, maybe. Would it be? Okay, it is actually Plymouth. There we go. So I thought Plymouth might be too small of or too big of a city to be this one, but I guess it's just because there's this green haze over the whole city. So we are right here in front of this manor here, the Citadel, the Royal Citadel, and we are right about here on Madeira Road. So there we go. And we are 2 meters away. Fantastic start, or fantastic second round here. So at least I have some redemption. This one is interesting. Definitely a small island this time. And wow. So this architecture kind of reminds me, feels a bit Thai or Cambodian with like the red, white, and blue roofs. As for this, looks like a soccer football pitch, so also feeling good. And then we have land over there to our east. So it's a small island, presumably quite recognizable. So I'm going to go in for Thailand first. So Phuket does not make sense, of course. These ones also have coverage, but I don't think it's going to be there. Okay, what about this one here? Almost, it's a similar shape for sure, but it's not quite right. Okay, so it's not Penang. Okay, so now we check Indo Islands, I guess. Doesn't really fit for any of these Indo Islands, unfortunately, nor any of these ones. So then, things start to get a little hairy here. What about this island here? No. And this one? Pretty sure some of these islands do have coverage, but doesn't appear to be any of those either. Okay, these Thai islands here. Okay. Quite similar shape, not quite right. Okay, concerning. Okay, these ones would probably have coverage as well. I don't think I've ever had any rounds on them. It's not right. This one is right. So I was right about the vibe, and there we go. That's the mainland right there, and we are on this little peninsula here. Very pleased, actually. This is probably my best detective round, just because it is like rather dependent on the architecture here and whatnot. And I guess the road ends about here, so I guess we probably have to be like around about there. This one might be Trekker, actually. Let's check if this one was Trekker. Yeah, it was Trekker. There we go. So, here we go, and let's hit guess here, which means we... oh, wow. Okay. Can we go back? Okay, well, let's... that was a little bit of a fail, not gonna lie. But let us go back and put our guess where we had it, which was... don't tell me I've already forgotten. It was this island here. And we were right here. Excellent. Okay, so we are 79 meters away. I've actually almost... we had it closer when we first clicked there, but that's okay. 5,000 points, 2 in a row. Probably one of my best efforts on this map, to be honest. Okay, next one. We do have a bunch of islands here. 1, 2, 3. Hills again, so maybe feeling similar to the Greek island we had last time, although the architecture might not be quite right. Probably too many white roofs and black roofs here. Okay, interesting, like, resort here. Definitely a nice looking place. Yeah, very, very touristy, I would say. And then this island, again, quite flat. So let's take a look at what this one looks like in a higher res. Yeah, okay. I do not know where to place this one. I don't know. Could be another Japanese town or something like that. The southern Japanese islands could make sense here, I think. Okay, so I want to check these ones down here. They do not appear to be quite the right shape. Okay, if we go further south here. Again, not quite the right shape. So I want to check Okinawa and around there now. So this is that we have the main island, which is hilly, and then the island next to it, which is flat. So I feel like that's fairly distinguishable if we manage to come across it. What about this one? Hey, it looks right, but there's no land bridge there. So, I mean, this one clearly has some kind of bridge. So, unfortunately not right. I really like the look of that one initially. What about these ones, though? Yeah, similar looking shape again, but not quite right. Okay, not to worry. Just want to look at this one again. It has a land bridge, but then yeah, it's all a little wrong, unfortunately. But I still kind of like this area. So Tucker told me that was the one we had it last time, and it was similar to this, but not quite the same. Okay, so maybe further north. Let's quickly check further north here. This is not right. There's not enough people who live on those ones. Okay, so I expect it to probably be around here. So maybe I should just switch. Hopefully it's not back there. It's going to be a bit sad if it was. Aye. So Okinawa, I didn't just check the main Okinawa well enough. So I would say that's still a win. It's still a win because I knew the general area. But I kind of chickened out at the last minute. And to be fair, it wouldn't look that tropical up there. So not a fantastic guess, although still decent. Okay, last one of the video here, kind of feeling a bit more Filipino or something like that. Or maybe Japanese again. We have like a lot of blue roofs here, interestingly. Okay, very remote and very mountainous, but also fairly decently populated up here especially. Okay, so this is our task. Let's go into the Philippines, always daunting when it comes to islands, of course. And these ones are quite small and quite mountainous. And it's quite an archipelago kind of area. So it kind of gave me a southern vibe, so I want to check out this kind of area first. Doesn't seem impossible. On the other hand, doesn't seem likely either. Okay, so we're kind of in trouble here. I feel like this is a very difficult round to be able to nail in just 2 minutes. You'd have to kind of know these islands. I mean, these look very similar, I must say. I don't think the population is quite big enough, because we do see quite a lot of people living on these islands here. But, all things considered, quite similar. So I wonder if they'd even have coverage on some of those islands. Probably not, in all honesty. Okay, so then we have this very distinctive one with all the mountains on it, which has hardly any people. And then most of the people don't live on that one. Maybe I should, because we have the similar architecture to the Thai around, maybe I should check some more Thai islands as well. So in the meantime, let's put our marker here. I don't know if that's at all possible. So let's go there. And then let us head back over to the Thai islands, because that's kind of what I got the vibe of based on the architecture, but does not really feel like any of them fit too well here, unless it was one of these ones again, which I don't think it is. So then, I think we're pretty much decided here. These ones, not gonna fit, unfortunately. Yeah. So then, we were in Puerto Rico, British Virgin Islands. Wow, US Virgin Islands actually. So that makes sense. I'm sure a lot of people knew the shape of that. I didn't, however, but I was really thrown off by the architecture. A lot of blue roofs there, surprisingly. And obviously kind of a unique part of the world as well. So 14,000, so 15 and 14 is not bad, but this one was really carried by 2 good guesses. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you want me to do on satellite mode next. I'll come back with some more soon. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.